Hello class. In this video I'm going to show you some rendering settings in Enscape through Sketchup that really go towards making sort of stylized drawings, so going beyond the photoreal. And I'm going to start with how to add lines to your drawing in Enscape should you want to do that, which you might want to do if you're trying to make a non-photoreal drawing. And so what I have is I have a model open and I've already pulled up Enscape. I've actually turned on lines, as you can see. I'll show you how to do this. Note that I have the sun up already and I'm in a daytime view. Make sure your settings are going to sort of need to be that way. And what you're going to do is you're going to open your settings box, which is right here, and you are going to turn your outlines on. So by default, they're going to be outlines are going to be set to 0. So changing this bar determines how strong they are. So if I turn them all the way up to 100% and check my model, we can see they're very thick. They're probably too thick for anything you might need, but halfway, wherever you want to set it, sort of would be good. So that's just one setting you need to get lines on. The reality is, well, yeah, I have got lines on my model. I also have shadows and I'm also seeing the materials here. And what I like to do if I'm really controlling my drawing in Photoshop to make it real stylized the way I want to, I need to separate out lines, I need to separate out the shadows, and I need to separate the 3D rendering or the material separately. So I've turned on the lines, but I need to get rid of the shadows and I need to get rid of the materials, or at least as best I can do that on. So to get rid of the shadows, you just need to go over to atmosphere and just make sure all your illumination is basically set to 0. My shadow sharpness doesn't really matter. And when I do that, we can see my shadows are gone, but I still have all the sort of material showing. So to take care of that mostly, I can't 100% take care of it in Enscape, but what I can do is I can go back to rendering, and under mode, I want to change where it says none to white. And when I do that, when we come to Enscape, we see that it's pretty much all white. The background's black, the windows are a little black, and I can clean those up if I need to sort of cut those out or turn those to white. In Photoshop, I can do that just by changing those areas to white. And when you export this, just like you would any rendering, you could go then apply this in Photoshop, set the layer to multiply, all the white areas will disappear and you'll be left with the black lines. Now I'll have other videos on how in Photoshop you can change the black lines to any color you want. You can set the thickness of the lines through Enscape, but you'll want that layer to be able to control the lines as you need to in your drawing. If I were really doing this, I probably should get rid of the ground as well. That's not helping the drawing with all the texture. I could just delete that temporarily or hide it in this model. Another thing you could do, quite honestly, although the scale will be slightly different, is you could actually just export the lines from SketchUp as well, because you can turn this shadows off in SketchUp and you can set the face to just be white in SketchUp as well. So that would be another way of exporting right from SketchUp, but the resolution and everything's not necessarily going to match perfectly through your exported 3D real drawing. But either one will work. You play it as you need to. So that's how you do lines. Very similarly, you might even be able to guess is if you just want to extract shadows separately, I will show you how to do that in a follow-up video.